The night is dark and echoing with vampires.
1992, Mystic Falls, Virginia. The Gilbert house is dark except for one window on the second floor. Klaus Mikaelson stands on the lawn. He has been standing here for 17 minutes, not moving, not breathing. He doesn't need to. Just watching the window where the light is. Inside that room, a baby is crying. He knew she would be born soon. A witch he compelled in Prague told him 6 months ago, the new Petrova doppelganger is coming, the bloodline continuing. He expected to wait decades. Catherine died in 1864. The doppelganger cycle usually spans generations, but magic has its own timing, and the witch was certain. 2 days ago, his sources confirmed it. Elena Gilbert gave birth to a daughter. Brown hair, the specific features that have haunted Klaus for 500 years since he first saw Tasha. Then Catherine, now this. The baby stops crying. Klaus moves. Vampire speed across the lawn, through the front door, unlocked these small-town Americans and their trusting natures. Up the stairs, the specific creak of the third step that he catalogs automatically because he has spent 1,000 years noting details that might matter later. The nursery door is open. Elena Gilbert is there, rocking the baby, humming something soft. She doesn't hear him until he's already in the room. When she turns, when she sees him, her face does what human faces do when they encounter something their hindbrain recognizes as apex predator. She opens her mouth to scream. Klaus is faster, his hand over her mouth, the other hand at her neck. One quick twist, she drops. He catches the baby before Miranda's body hits the floor. The infant looks at him. Brown eyes, wide, not crying now, just looking. Klaus has killed thousands of people across 1,000 years. He has ended bloodlines, burned cities, destroyed anyone who stood between him and what he wanted. He is very good at not feeling things about the people he kills. He looks at this baby and feels nothing. That's what he tells himself. Grayson Gilbert comes through the door. Miranda is she. He sees his wife on the floor, sees the stranger holding his daughter, reaches for something, a lamp, a weapon, it doesn't matter. Klaus kills him the same way, quick, clean, necessary. The baby makes a small sound. Not distress, just observation. Taking in the world with the specific unfiltered awareness of someone who has been alive for 3 days and has no framework for what's normal yet. Klaus looks at her. She looks back. "You're going to save my life," he tells her, his voice quiet, almost conversational. "In 17 years, when you're old enough, when the curse can be broken. Until then, you stay alive. You stay healthy. You stay secret." The baby's hand opens and closes, reflexive, grasping at air. Klaus shifts her in his arms, adjusts his grip the way he watched Miranda do it 30 seconds ago, supports the head. The baby settles against his chest. He walks out of the house carrying her. He has just murdered this child's parents and stolen her from her crib, and he is going to raise her for 17 years and then drain her blood to break a curse that has defined his existence since before she was born. This is strategy. This is survival. This is what he does. The baby falls asleep against his shoulder before he reaches his car. 1994, Provence, France. The villa is old stone and lavender fields and the specific kind of silence that comes from being 40 kilometers from the nearest town. Klaus sits in the library with a 2-year-old on his knee. She has a book. Elijah gave it to her. A picture book in French with animals and colors and the specific, gentle pedagogical approach that Elijah brings to everything. She's pointing at a picture of a wolf. Loop, she says. The pronunciation is terrible but recognizable. Close. Lou. The P is silent. Lou. Better. She turns the page. Points at a bird. Oiseau. Very good. Elijah enters the library. He stops in the doorway. The specific pause that means he's still not entirely used to this. Klaus undaggered him 3 months after taking Elena. The decision was practical. He couldn't raise a human infant and evade Mikhail and manage a network of compelled households across 3 continents simultaneously. He needed help. He needed someone he could trust. Absolutely. Elijah was the only option. When Elijah woke up and saw Klaus holding a baby, his expression cycled through confusion, horror, understanding, and something else. Something that looked almost like hope. She should be sleeping. Klaus doesn't look up from the book. She doesn't want to sleep. She's 2. She doesn't get to decide. She's very persuasive. Elijah crosses to them. looks at the child. Elena looks back with the specific direct gaze of a toddler who has never learned to be afraid of eye contact. She holds up the book. Loop. Excellent pronunciation, Elijah tells her. His voice has the warmth that only gets around her. Though your father is teaching you French before English, which is backwards, she speaks English. She speaks 30 words in English and 60 in French. She'll be fluent in 5 languages by the time she's 10. Does the order matter? Elijah sits in the chair across from them. Niklaus, we need to discuss the timeline. Not now. When? She's 2. In 15 years. I know the timeline, Elijah. I know exactly how many days until her 17th birthday. I know what has to happen. I don't need you to remind me. Not reading. She can't read yet. Just looking at pictures. A cat. A tree. A house. Then why does it look like you're pretending this is permanent? I'm keeping her alive and healthy until she's useful. That requires education, stimulation, the things human children need to develop properly. And affection, easier than explaining our actual relationship. And Niklaus, Elijah. Klaus's voice has the specific edge it gets when he's done with a conversation. Drop it. Elena points at a picture of a moon. Loon. 1996, Buenos Aires, Argentina. Rebekah wakes up in a bedroom she doesn't recognize. She sits up fast, vampire reflexes. Scanning for threats, the last thing she remembers is Klaus's face, his hand on the dagger. The specific betrayal that never gets easier, no matter how many times it happens. How long has she been gone this time? She's in a bed. Expensive sheets. The room is furnished but impersonal. A safe house. She can hear voices downstairs. Klaus, Elijah, and someone else. Small voice. High-pitched. Rebekah is downstairs in 5 seconds. Klaus and Elijah are in the kitchen. There's a child at the table. 4 years old, maybe. Brown hair in 2 braids. She's eating breakfast, eggs, fruit, toast, and swinging her legs because they don't reach the floor. The child sees Rebekah, stops mid-bite. Who's that? Klaus turns. His expression does something complicated when he sees Rebekah awake. That's your Aunt Rebekah. Rebekah, this is Elena. It's a very long story. How long was I gone? 4 years. Rebekah's face does what it does when Klaus confirms he's daggered her for years again. The specific hurt that she's carried for 900 years and that never quite scars over. Then she looks at the child again. Elena is looking back with open curiosity. No fear, just interest. She's the doppelganger. Yes, you took her. Hello, I'm your Aunt Rebekah. It's nice to meet you. Studies Rebekah's face with the specific thorough attention of a 4-year-old sizing up a new person. You're pretty. A child. Something that isn't running and hiding and being daggered every time Klaus decides she's inconvenient. She's wanted it so badly that the wanting has turned into a permanent ache she's learned to ignore. And now there's a 4-year-old girl calling her aunt and telling her she's pretty and looking at her with complete trust. Don't cry, Elena says. She reaches out, pats Rebekah's face with a small hand. Sticky from breakfast? Don't cry. Rebekah laughs. It comes out broken. I'm not sad. I'm happy. Okay. Rebekah looks at Klaus. He's watching her with the specific careful expression that means he's calculating how she's going to react. If you ever dagger me again while she's awake, I will make you regret it for the rest of your immortal life. Noted. I mean it, Nick. I believe you. Rebekah stands, wipes her eyes, looks at Elijah. How long have you been awake? 2 years. And you didn't wake me. That was my decision, Klaus says. Elena was in the fragile stage. I needed Elijah's stability. Your enthusiasm would have been a liability. My enthusiasm. You would have wanted to dress her up and take her places and show her to people. We're hiding from Mikael. Visibility is death. Rebekah wants to argue. Can't. He's right. She would have done exactly that. She looks at Elena. What do you like to do? Elena thinks about this seriously. Read with Uncle Elijah and train with Papa. Train? Self-defense, Klaus says. Basic awareness. She needs to know how to recognize threats. She's 4. She's the most valuable supernatural object in the world. She's been a target since the day she was born. Rebekah looks at the small child eating toast and swinging her legs and being raised by Klaus Mikaelson to be a weapon and a sacrifice, and she feels something crack open in her chest. I'm staying awake this time. Rebekah, I'm staying awake. She needs me. And if you dagger me again, I swear to you, when I wake up, I will find a way to make you suffer. Klaus studies her. Fine. You stay awake, but you follow my rules. We move when I say move, we hide when I say hide. No arguments. Fine. They shake on it. Elena finishes her toast. Can Aunt Rebekah read to me? Rebekah is crying again. Yes, yes, I can read to you. 1999, Marrakesh, Morocco. Elena is 7 years old, and she understands things most 7-year-olds don't understand. She understands that Papa is a vampire, that Uncle Elijah is a vampire, that Aunt Rebekah is a vampire, that they're 1,000 years old and that normal humans would be terrified of them, and that she is not a normal human. She understands that they move every few months, because someone is hunting them. Someone dangerous, someone Papa won't talk about except to say the monsters in the world, in a way that makes it clear the real monster is singular, not plural. She understands that she's important in a way she doesn't fully understand yet. Something to do with her blood. Something to do with a curse. She's sitting on the roof of their current house, a riad in the old city, beautiful tiles and a courtyard garden and high walls that keep the world out. Elijah taught her to climb up here. Papa doesn't know she comes up here. She's good at being quiet when she wants to be. Klaus appears beside her. She doesn't jump. She learned not to jump at vampire speed when she was 4. You're supposed to be sleeping. I'm not tired. That's not relevant. Children need sleep. Do you sleep when I feel like it? Then why do I have to sleep when I don't feel like it? Klaus sits beside her. The roof tiles are still warm from the afternoon sun. Below them, Marrakesh is loud and alive and exactly the kind of city where 3 vampires and a human child can disappear completely. Because you're human. Your body requires it. Uncle Elijah says I'm not like other humans. Uncle Elijah talks too much. He says I'm special, that my blood is special. Klaus is quiet for a moment. Elena has learned to read his silences. This one is the I'm deciding how much truth to give you silence. Your blood is important. Yes. Why? Because of what I am. I'm not just a vampire. I'm half werewolf. But there's a curse that keeps the werewolf side locked away. To break the curse, I need... He stops. I need specific things. Your blood is one of them. Elena processes this. So when you took me from my family, it was because you needed my blood. Yes, she's been told pieces of this story before. She knows she had parents once, that they're dead, that Klaus killed them. She's never been told she's supposed to be upset about it. Do you regret it? No. Taking me? Klaus looks at her. Elena looks back. She has his eyes, people say, not literally. Hers are brown, his are blue. But the expression, the specific way of looking at people like they're puzzles to solve. No. I don't regret taking you. Because you're mine now. That matters more than why it started. She's done this since she was small enough to fit in the crook of his arm. He's never stopped her. There are monsters in the world. Yes. Are you one of them? To you? No. Why not to me? Because I protect you, and I will keep protecting you until I can't anymore. When will that be? When you're 17, when the curse can be broken, and then what happens to me? Another long silence. Elena can feel his tension in the way he's holding himself. The specific stillness that means he's controlling something. Then we do what needs to be done, and you'll understand why it matters. Okay. I trust you, Papa. Something in Klaus's expression shifts. He puts his arm around her. They sit on the roof together watching Marrakesh glow in the dark. 2002. Prague, Czech Republic. Elena is 10 years old, and she's in the training room with Klaus. The training room is the basement of their current house, a converted wine cellar with stone walls and enough space to move. Klaus has set up mats, weapons, training equipment. She's been training since she was 8. She's currently on the mat with a vampire. Not Klaus. One of the compelled vampires Klaus keeps around for specific purposes. This one is named Martin. He's fast and strong and has clear instructions. Fight her like she's a real threat, but don't actually hurt her. Elena is not fast. She's not strong. She's 10 years old and human and facing something that could kill her in half a second if it wanted to. She's learning to win anyway. Martin comes at her, vampire speed. She's already moving, not away, toward, inside his reach before he can adjust. She uses his momentum against him, drops low, sweeps his legs, he goes down. She has a stake before he hits the ground. Wooden training stake, not sharp enough to actually penetrate, but the positioning is perfect. Over his heart. Dead, she says. Klaus, watching from the edge of the mat, nods. Again, they reset. Martin attacks. This time he anticipates the sweep. Grabs her arm. She lets him, uses the grab as leverage, twists, gets her elbow into his throat. Not enough force to hurt a vampire, but if he were human, he'd be choking, dead. The ones she loses because she's slower or weaker or makes a mistake in positioning, never because she hesitates. When Klaus calls time, Elena is sweating and breathing hard and has bruises forming on her arms where Martin grabbed her. Martin is uninjured but visibly impressed. She's good. She's adequate, Klaus corrects. Good would be winning every exchange. She's 10. She's the doppelganger. Adequate gets her killed. Stretches. Klaus has taught her the importance of cooldown, preventing injury, treating her body like the valuable thing it is. Klaus crosses to her. You're pulling your strikes. I don't want to hurt him. He's a vampire. You can't hurt him, but you're training your body to hold back. That's a habit that will get you killed in a real fight. I know. Then stop doing it. Elena looks at him. What if I hurt someone who isn't a vampire? Better they're hurt than you're dead. What if it's someone I care about? You don't care about anyone outside this family. That's by design. That's safety. The family is everything. Everyone else is temporary, expendable, a potential threat. She believes it mostly. There's a part of her, small, growing, that wonders what it would be like to have friends her own age, to go to school, to be normal. She doesn't say this out loud. Papa has very clear opinions about normal. Again tomorrow, and every day until you can beat Martin without thinking. What happens when I can beat Martin without thinking? The specific smile that appears when he's genuinely pleased. Then we find you a harder opponent. 2005, Tuscany, Italy. Elena is 13 years old, and she's reading in the library when the compelled tutor tries something. His name is Alessandro. He's been teaching her advanced mathematics for 3 months. He's good at it, clear explanations, patient, the specific competent professionalism of someone who takes pride in their work. He's also been looking at her differently for the last 2 weeks. Elena noticed. She notices everything. 13 years of being raised by Klaus Mikaelson teaches you to catalog threats before they fully form. Today, during the lesson, Alessandro moves his chair closer. Not dramatically, just 6 inches. Testing. Elena doesn't react. Continues working the equation he gave her. His hand lands on her shoulder. You're doing very well. Thank you. The hand moves, slides toward her neck, the specific touch that is not pedagogical, not paternal, not anything appropriate. Elena is faster. She has a vervain in her pocket. Always. Klaus's rule. She pulls the syringe, preloaded, a dose that would drop a vampire for hours, and stabs it into Alessandro's thigh before he finishes the sentence he was starting. He gasps, looks at her with shock and pain, and the dawning realization that he's miscalculated badly. You're human. I've been drinking vervain since I was 6. It doesn't affect me anymore. Elena's voice is level, clinical. You touched me without permission. That was a mistake. Alessandro tries to stand. His legs don't work. The vervain is hitting his system hard. He goes down. Klaus appears in the doorway. Elena doesn't know how long he's been there. She looks at him. Klaus crosses to Alessandro, looks down at him with the specific expression that appears right before Klaus does something terrible. I'll handle this. I already handled it. What else needs to be done? Klaus looks at his daughter, 13 years old, holding a vervain syringe like it's a pen, completely calm. No fear, no distress. Just the practical assessment of a threat neutralized. He's raised her to be this. He's never been prouder and never been more aware of what he's done to her. Go to your room. Papa, go to your room, now. Elena goes. 20 minutes later, Klaus knocks on her door. She's at her desk, reading. Not the mathematics book. Something Elijah gave her. Philosophy. He's gone. Dead? Yes. Good. Klaus sits on the edge of her bed. You did well. Fast response. Correct dosage. Clean execution of the threat assessment. Thank you. But you're 13. You shouldn't have to defend yourself from grown men. That was my failure. I should have seen it coming. Looks at him. You can't protect me from everything. I can try. What happens when I'm 17? When the curse breaks? You can't protect me from that. Klaus goes very still. They don't talk about this often. The ritual, what it requires, what it costs. That's different. How? Because that serves a purpose. That matters. Some creep touching you serves nothing, that's just evil. And draining my blood isn't? Elena, I'm not arguing. I'm asking. I want to understand the difference. Klaus is quiet for a long time. There isn't one, not really. But I'm doing it anyway, because the curse has to break. Because I've waited 1,000 years. Because he stops. Because I'm a monster who loves you, and that doesn't change what I'm going to do to you. Elena processes this. The specific brutal honesty that Klaus gives her and no one else. Okay? Okay? I trust you. If you say it has to happen, it has to happen. Klaus looks at his daughter, 13 years old, brown eyes, his specific manner of holding herself. She's never had a choice about any of this. He shaped her entire reality around his needs, and she trusts him anyway. He doesn't know if that's love or Stockholm Syndrome or something else entirely. He doesn't let himself think about it too hard. 2008, Vienna, Austria. Elena is 16 years old and Klaus tells her everything. They're in the study. Evening, Elijah is there. Rebekah is there. The family gathered in the specific formal configuration that means something important is happening. Elena sits in the chair across from Klaus's desk, spine straight, hands folded, the posture Elijah taught her when she was 6. You know what you are. My blood is magically significant. And you know what I am. A hybrid, vampire and werewolf, born that way. But your werewolf side is cursed, locked, you can't access it. Good, now I'm going to tell you exactly how the curse breaks, and what it requires. Klaus lays it out. The moonstone, the werewolf, the vampire, the witch, and the doppelganger. He explains the ritual, the specific mechanics, the blood drain, the death. Elena listens without interrupting. Her face doesn't change. When he's done, she sits with it for a moment. When? Your 17th birthday, September 2009. Where? Mystic Falls, Virginia, the town where you were born. There's a Bennett witch there. The bloodline we need. And after? This is the part Klaus has been dreading. After, you're dead. The ritual requires it. The doppelganger must die for the curse to break. Rebekah makes a sound. Small. Pained. She's known this was coming for 16 years. Knowing doesn't make it easier. Elena looks at Klaus. Is there a way around it? I'm looking for one. I've been looking for 16 years. So far, nothing. But you're still going to do it, even if you don't find a way. Klaus doesn't answer immediately. Elijah is watching him. Elena is watching him with those brown eyes that see too much. Yes, why? Because the werewolf side is half of who I am and it's been locked away since before you were born. Because I need it, because... He stops. Because I'm selfish and monstrous and I'm going to do it anyway. How many hybrids can you make with my blood? The question catches Klaus off guard. What? After the curse breaks. You'll be a hybrid. You'll be able to create more hybrids, right, with your blood? How many? Dozens, maybe hundreds. Enough to protect the family? More than enough. Elena thinks about this. Then we do it. Rebekah stands. Elena, whatever it costs, you're 16 years old. You shouldn't have to, but I do. Papa's been honest about this my entire life. I've known this was coming. I'm not going to fall apart about it now. Klaus is looking at her with an expression Elijah has never seen on his brother's face. Pride and grief and something that looks almost like shame. You don't have to be brave about this. Yes, I do. You raised me to be brave. I'm being what you made me. The silence is heavy. Eliza speaks quietly. We have 11 months. Klaus is still searching for alternatives. The ritual may not require... The ritual requires what it requires. Elena interrupts. I'm not pretending otherwise. I'm just... She looks at Klaus. I want it to matter. If I'm dying for this, I want it to actually work. I want you to break the curse. I want you to make the hybrids. I want the family protected. That's what I want. I will make it matter. Promise? I promise. She hugs him. He holds her. Rebekah is crying. Elijah's jaw is tight. They have 11 months. 2009, Vienna, Austria. Elena's 17th birthday approaches. The training intensifies. Klaus has Elena sparring with vampires every day. Multiple opponents. Armed opponents. He's preparing her for Mystic Falls. For the reality that Mystic Falls has vampires who might recognize what she is and try to use her. She wins most of her fights now. Not through strength. She's still human, still limited. but through speed and intelligence and the specific ruthless efficiency of someone who has been training for this her entire life. One afternoon, she breaks a vampire's wrist, dislocates his shoulder, and has him on the ground in under 10 seconds. Klaus watches from the edge of the training room. Good. Faster next time. The vampire, his name is Anton, is healed already. Vampire metabolism. They go again. Elena is faster. 8 seconds this time. Better. Anton is respectful and slightly afraid of her, which is the correct response. Elena has Klaus's protection and Klaus's training, and the specific casual violence that comes from growing up in a family of originals. When do we leave for Mystic Falls? 2 weeks. Everything is arranged. Property purchased, identities prepared. Bonnie Bennett confirmed as enrolled at Mystic Falls High School. And the cover story. You're my niece. Orphaned. Raised in Europe. Returned to the States for your final year of high school. Tragic but sympathetic. People will accept it. What about the Salvatores? Klaus's expression shifts. What about them? Damon and Stefan. Stefan returns to Mystic Falls periodically because it's his ancestral home. Damon might be there opening the tomb. You've been reading my files. You left them accessible. I assumed you wanted me to read them. The Salvatores are irrelevant. If they interfere, I'll handle them. You're more than capable. Elena drinks her water. I've never killed anyone. You've killed Anton a dozen times in training. That's different. He heals. Killing is killing. The mechanics are the same. If you need to kill someone to protect yourself or the mission, you do it. No hesitate. Then you die, and I lose you, and the ritual fails. And 1,000 years of waiting mean nothing. Klaus crosses to her. You don't hesitate. That's not who you are. Elena looks at him. Who am I, Papa? You're the strongest person I know, and you're going to do exactly what needs to be done because that's what we do. We protect the family, always. September 2009, Mystic Falls, Virginia. The town looks exactly like the photographs Klaus showed her. Small, quaint, the specific American small-town aesthetic of main streets and local businesses and people who know each other's names. Elena watches it pass through the car window as they drive toward the property Klaus purchased. Rebekah is beside her in the back seat. Elijah is driving. Klaus is in the passenger seat doing what he always does, scanning for threats, cataloging exits, running scenarios. It's smaller than I expected. Most American towns are. Rebekah's voice is tight. She's been tense since they left Vienna. The closer they get to September 22nd, Elena's 17th birthday, the ritual date, the worse it gets. How long until we're settled? The house is ready. Staff compelled and in place. Your school enrollment is confirmed. You start Monday. Klaus doesn't turn around. Bonnie Bennett's class schedule has been acquired. You have 3 classes with her. Lunch is the same period. That gives you multiple contact points per day. And the approach? New girl looking for connection. Bonnie is isolated in this timeline. Without you as her childhood anchor, she has acquaintances but not close friends. She'll be susceptible to genuine-seeming overtures. Elena files this away. She's been trained to read people since she was 8, to find weak points, to exploit vulnerability without the target realizing they're being exploited. She's never done it to someone her own age. The house is large, estate level, set back from the road with gates and enough land that neighbors aren't a concern. Klaus bought it through 3 shell companies so the Mikaelson name never appears in public records. Inside, the compelled staff have everything ready. Furniture. Wardrobes full of clothes appropriate for a 17-year-old American high school student. Technology. The specific infrastructure of a cover identity built to withstand scrutiny. Elena's room is on the 2nd floor. Large windows. View of the woods behind the property. It's nice. Comfortable. Temporary. Everything is always temporary. Clothes in the closet organized by type. Books on the shelf organized by subject. Weapons hidden in the false bottom of the dresser. Vervain doses in the bedside table disguised as vitamins. Klaus appears in the doorway. Settled? Yes. Nervous? Should I be, you're about to attend an American high school, navigate teenage social dynamics, befriend a Bennett witch while hiding what you are, and do it all while knowing you have 6 weeks until the ritual. Klaus pauses. Most people would be nervous. I'm not most people. No, you're not. He crosses to the window, looks out at Mystic Falls. This town is where you were born. Your biological parents lived here, died here. You have family here, an aunt, a brother. They don't know you exist. Elena joins him at the window. Do you want me to make contact? No. They're irrelevant to the mission, but you should know they exist, in case they become relevant later. What are their names? Jenna Summers, your mother's younger sister, she's in her early 20s, and Jeremy Gilbert, your biological brother. He's 14. Elena tries to feel something about this. Biological family. People who share her blood. She comes up empty. They're strangers. The family that matters is standing beside her. I won't approach them unless necessary. Good. Klaus turns to face her. Elena, once you're enrolled in Mystic Falls High, once you're visible in this town, there's no going back. The Salvatores will see you. They'll recognize what you are. Others might too. You'll be exposed in ways you've never been exposed before. I can handle it. I know you can. But if anything happens, if anyone threatens you, if you feel unsafe for even a second, you call me. Immediately. I don't care if it's the middle of class. You call. I will. Promise me. I promise, Papa. He pulls her into a hug. Quick. Tight. The specific Klaus hug that happens rarely and means everything. You're going to be extraordinary. I'm going to be what you need me to be. Monday. Mystic Falls High School. Elena walks through the front doors at 7:45 a.m. The school is exactly what she expected from her research. Lockers, hallways, teenagers moving in clusters. The specific social ecosystem of American high school that she studied but never experienced. She finds the main office. The compelled secretary gives her a schedule and a warm welcome, and directions to her first period class, history. Room 212, second floor. Elena climbs the stairs, finds the room. Mr. Saltzman is already there, young teacher. New to the school according to her research, he looks up when she enters. You must be Elena. Welcome. Take any open seat. She chooses a seat near the back. Good sightlines. Close to the door. The habits of someone raised by Klaus Mikaelson. Other students filter in. They look at her with the specific curiosity that new students generate. She meets their eyes, smiles slightly, not too friendly. That reads as desperate. Not too cold. That reads as hostile. Just the right amount of approachable distance. Third period is English. Miss Peterson's class. Elena enters and scans the room. Bonnie Bennett is in the second row. Elena recognizes her from photographs. Brown skin, dark hair, pretty, the specific quality of someone who is confident in some contexts and uncertain in others. Elena takes the seat behind her. When the bell rings and Miss Peterson starts talking about their fall reading list, Elena leans forward slightly, keeps her voice quiet. Do you have a pen I could borrow? Sure. She hands Elena a pen. Elena takes it with a small smile. Thanks. I'm Elena. First day. Bonnie. And yeah, I figured. You faces are pretty obvious here. Vienna, mostly. My uncle just moved back to the States, and I came with him. That's a big change. Huge. But I'm managing. Elena pauses. Is this class always this intense about reading lists? Bonnie grins. Peterson loves her classics. You'll get used to it. They turn back to the lecture. Elena has successfully established first contact. Friendly, low pressure, the foundation of what will become a friendship. At lunch, Elena sits alone, deliberately. She has a book she reads. She's visible but not seeking attention. Bonnie walks past her table, stops. Hey, Elena looks up. Yeah, Bonnie, you want to sit with us? It's weird to eat alone on your first day. I don't want to intrude. You're not. Come on. Elena follows Bonnie to a table where two other girls are sitting. Caroline Forbes and... Elena doesn't recognize the other one. Blonde, cheerful. This is Elena. She transferred from Vienna. Elena, this is Caroline and Amy. Hi. Elena sits. Thanks for letting me crash. No problem. Vienna? Caroline leans forward. That's so cool. What's it like? Elena spends lunch answering questions. She's prepared for this. Has a cover story that's detailed enough to be believable, but vague enough to avoid verification. She mentions museums, cafes, the specific cultural details that make the story real. Caroline is friendly and talkative. Amy is sweet but forgettable. Bonnie is the one Elena focuses on, asking questions, finding common ground. Building rapport, by the end of lunch, Bonnie has invited her to study together after school. Elena accepts. After school, Bonnie's house. The Bennett house is smaller than Elena expected. Comfortable. Lived in. The specific warmth of a home that's been in the same family for generations. Bonnie's grandmother is in the kitchen when they arrive. Sheila Bennett. Elena recognizes her immediately from Klaus's files. Powerful witch. Bennett bloodline matriarch. The person who will perform the ritual when the time comes. Compelled or willing, Klaus will ensure it. Grams, this is Elena. She just transferred. We're going to study. Sheila looks at Elena. The look lasts 3 seconds longer than it should. Elena feels it. The specific sensation of being seen, not just looked at, seen. Like Sheila is reading something Elena didn't know she was displaying. Elena, welcome. It's nice to meet you. You too, Mrs. Bennett. Call me Sheila. Any friend of Bonnie's is welcome here. Elena catalogs everything. The space, the books, the specific personal details that tell her who Bonnie is when she's not performing for school. They study for an hour, history homework. Elena is careful to be smart but not too smart, to ask questions that make Bonnie feel helpful, to build the dynamic where Bonnie is the expert and Elena is the grateful newcomer. When Elena leaves, Sheila is in the kitchen again. Thank you for having me. Of course. Come back anytime. She can feel Sheila watching her from the window, the specific weight of a Bennett witch's attention. She calls Klaus from the car. First contact successful. Bonnie is receptive, but the grandmother is a problem. What kind of problem? She looked at me like she could see through the cover story. I don't know if it's instinct or magic or what, but she knows something is off. Can you work around it? I think so, but we need to be careful. If Sheila warns Bonnie away from me, the whole approach collapses. Then make sure she doesn't. Be perfect. Be exactly what Bonnie needs. Make yourself indispensable. I will. She drives back to the estate. Elijah is in the library when she arrives. How was your first day of high school? Surreal, but successful. Bonnie is exactly what the research said she'd be. Lonely enough to be receptive, smart enough to be useful. The grandmother is the variable. Sheila Bennett is a formidable witch. She may sense what you are. I could feel it. Elena sits across from him. How do I handle someone who can see through me? You don't hide. You redirect. Give her something true to focus on so she doesn't look deeper. Elijah pauses. Tell her you're dealing with family trauma, that your parents died and you're being raised by your uncle. That's true enough to read as genuine. And if she pushes, then you give her another truth, that you're trying to build a normal life in a situation that isn't normal, that you're scared of losing people you care about. Elijah's voice is gentle. These things are true, Elena. Use them. But using the truth as a weapon, that's more sophisticated. I can do that. I know you can. 1 week later, the Mystic Grill. Elena is at the grill with Bonnie and Caroline. It's become routine. After school, they come here, study, talk, do the specific teenage social bonding that Elena has never experienced before. She's good at it, better than she expected. The performance is easier when the people you're performing for genuinely like you. Caroline is talking about a guy she likes. Bonnie is giving advice. Elena is listening and contributing just enough to be present without dominating. Then the door opens and Damon Salvatore walks in. Elena recognizes him immediately. Black hair, blue eyes, the specific swagger of someone who has lived 165 years and spent most of them not caring about consequences. He scans the grill. His eyes land on Elena. He stops moving. Elena watches him process it. The recognition, the confusion, the specific oh shit moment when he realizes what she is. Damon crosses to their table. His face has the carefully constructed, casual expression of someone trying very hard to seem like they're not trying. Ladies, mind if I join you? Caroline lights up. Damon, sure. He sits. His eyes don't leave Elena. I don't think we've met. I'm Damon. Elena. Pretty name. You new in town? Transferred a week ago from Vienna. Vienna. Fancy. His smile doesn't reach his eyes. What brings you to our little corner of nowhere? I came with him. Your uncle. Klaus Mikaelson. Damon's expression doesn't change, but Elena sees the recognition. He knows the name. Knows what it means. Mikaelson. That's an unusual name. Very old family, I bet. Bonnie and Caroline are watching this exchange with the specific confusion of people who don't understand the subtext. Damon stands. Well, welcome to Mystic Falls, Elena. I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of each other. I'm sure. He leaves. Elena watches him go. Then she turns back to Bonnie and Caroline like nothing happened. But she calls Klaus the moment she's alone. Damon Salvatore just made contact. He knows what I am. He knows who you are. Did he threaten you? No. But he was fishing. testing, trying to figure out what we're doing here. Let him fish. Damon Salvatore is impulsive and emotional. He'll make a move eventually. When he does, we'll be ready. What if he tries to grab me? Use me as leverage. Then you defend yourself, and I'll make sure he regrets it. 2 weeks later, after school, Elena is walking to her car when someone steps into her path. Stefan Salvatore. She recognizes him from photographs. Younger looking than Damon. Serious. The specific quality of someone carrying guilt like a second skeleton. Elena Gilbert. She doesn't correct the last name. Stefan Salvatore. You know who I am. I know what you are. Vampire. Brother of Damon. Ripper in your past life. Currently trying very hard to be good. Stefan's jaw tightens. And you're the doppelganger. Working for Klaus Mikaelson. I'm not working for him. I'm his daughter. He murdered your parents. Stole you from your crib. Raised you to be a sacrifice. And you call him your father? And he did raise me for the ritual. He's been honest about that my entire life. I know what I am and what happens in 6 weeks. I'm not being manipulated. You've never known anything else. That's the definition of manipulation. What do you want, Stefan? I want to help you. I don't need help. You're going to die in 6 weeks. Klaus is going to drain your blood and kill you to break his curse. You need help, whether you think you do or not. Elena studies him. The hero, the one who saves people, the specific flavor of vampire who can't stop himself from trying to fix things. You don't know me. You don't know what I want. You're making assumptions based on what you think a 17-year-old girl should want. What do you want? I want the ritual to work. I want Papa to break the curse. I want our family protected. That's what I want. That's what he's taught you to want. Yes, and it's still what I want. Elena steps closer. You're a vampire, Stefan. You've lived 162 years. You've killed people. You've made choices. So have I. The difference is, I'm not pretending my choices are anything other than what they are. She walks past him to her car. Stefan calls after her. Whatever he's told you about the ritual, it doesn't have to end with you dead. There are ways. Loopholes. I can help you find them. Elena stops. Turns. Why? Because it's the right thing to do. You don't even know me. I know you look exactly like someone I loved 160 years ago. I know you're being used. I know you deserve better than this. Elena stares at him. Stefan Salvatore offering unconditional help because it's right, not because he gains anything, not because she's useful, just because he's constitutionally incapable of watching someone walk toward death without trying to stop it. It's the most alien concept Elena has ever encountered. Stay away from me, Stefan. If you interfere with the ritual, Papa will kill you, and I won't stop him. That night, the Mikaelson estate. Elena tells Klaus about both encounters. Damon at the grill. Stefan after school. Klaus listens without interrupting. When she's done, he's quiet for a moment. Stefan offered to help you, yes, and you refused, yes. Why? Elena looks at him. Because I don't need help. Because the ritual is happening regardless. Because, she stops, because he doesn't get to decide what I deserve. You raised me, you taught me, you gave me everything I have. He's a stranger. Puts his hands on her shoulders. Stefan Salvatore is going to try to save you. That's who he is, the hero, the good brother. He won't be able to help himself. What do you want me to do about it? Use it. If Stefan thinks he's saving you, he'll tell you things. Information about the Salvatores, about the tomb, about other variables in this town. Feed him hope. Keep him close enough to be useful, but not close enough to actually interfere. You want me to manipulate him. I want you to be strategic. Stefan's guilt complex is a weapon. Use it. She can do this. She's been trained for exactly this. What about Damon? Damon is more dangerous. He's impulsive. He'll try something stupid. When he does, you defend yourself. Don't hesitate. Don't hold back. Make it clear that touching you has consequences. And if he grabs me anyway, then I'll kill him, slowly. Klaus pauses. But I'd prefer you handle it yourself. You're more than capable. 3 weeks later, the tomb vampires. Elena learns about the tomb from Bonnie. They're studying at the Bennett house. Bonnie mentions casually that her grandmother has been doing research, something about a sealed tomb under the old Fells Church. Vampires trapped inside since 1864. Elena asks careful questions, learns that Damon Salvatore has been pressuring Sheila to open the tomb. That there's a vampire inside he thinks he loves? Catherine Pierce. Elena researches Catherine that night, learns she's the previous Petrova doppelganger, the one Klaus was chasing for 500 years, the one who faked her death and hid. She tells Klaus immediately. Catherine Pierce is in the tomb. Damon wants to open it. Klaus goes very still. You're certain? Bonnie said her grandmother confirmed it. Damon has been asking Sheila to perform the opening spell. When? Soon, probably. Damon is impatient. Klaus thinks for a long moment. If Catherine is in that tomb, she's a problem. She knows about the curse. She knows about the doppelganger line. If she gets out, she'll run. Or worse, she'll tell people what you are. So we stop the opening? No. We let Damon open the tomb. Then we go in, and we make sure Catherine never leaves. You want to kill her. I want to eliminate a threat. Catherine has been running from me for 500 years. She's resourceful. I won't let her jeopardize the ritual. What do you need from me? Keep Bonnie talking. Find out when Sheila agrees to open the tomb. The moment you know the date, you tell me. I will. 4 weeks before the ritual, the tomb opens. Bonnie tells Elena the date, November 1st. The comet passes overhead. Necessary for the spell. Sheila has agreed to help Damon. Elena tells Klaus. Klaus, Elijah, and Rebekah are ready. The tomb opens at midnight. Damon goes in looking for Catherine. Stefan follows him, the hero instinct kicking in. Klaus waits until they're inside. Then he enters. The tomb is exactly as the research described. Stone. Dark. Cold. Vampires desiccated from 145 years without blood. Klaus finds Catherine quickly. She's awake, alert. She sees him and her face goes through several emotions very fast. Shock, fear, the specific calculation of someone trying to find an escape route that doesn't exist. Hello, Katerina. How did you? You've been in a tomb in Mystic Falls for 145 years. And I have the new doppelganger with me. Did you think I wouldn't find you eventually? He has her against the wall with his hand around her throat before she completes the first step. You ran from me for 500 years. You faked your death, you hid. You made me think the doppelganger line was broken. His voice is conversational, almost pleasant. Do you have any idea how much time you cost me? Klaus, please. I don't care about your apologies. I don't care about your excuses. You're a loose end, and I'm tying you off. He kills her. Quick, clean. Rips her heart out. Catherine's body desiccates immediately. Damon and Stefan emerge from deeper in the tomb. They see Klaus, see Catherine's body. Damon's face does something terrible. What did you do? I eliminated a threat. Catherine Pierce knew too much about the curse, about the doppelganger. I couldn't let her leave this tomb. You had no right. I have every right. This is my curse. My ritual, my doppelganger. Everything in this town exists in relation to what I need. Catherine was a liability. Stefan steps forward. Elena, is he forcing you to? I'm right here, Elena's voice from the tomb entrance. She's been watching, and no, he's not forcing me. This is the plan. This is what we do. She's standing with Rebekah and Elijah, the Mikaelson family united. Damon looks at her. You let him kill Catherine. I helped him find her. Catherine was a threat to the ritual, to our family. She had to go. You're insane. All of you. Maybe, but we're effective. Elena's voice is level. The tomb is open. Take whoever you want from inside. We don't care about them. We only cared about Catherine, and she's gone now. Klaus and his family leave. The Salvatores stay in the tomb with the desiccated vampires in Catherine's body. Stefan looks at Damon. She's been with him too long. He shaped her entire worldview. She can't see what this is. How? I don't know yet. But we have 4 weeks until the ritual. That's enough time to find a way. 3 weeks before the ritual. Elena is at the grill with Bonnie when it happens. She's sipping water. Bonnie is talking about an upcoming test. Everything is normal. Then someone grabs Elena's arm. She turns. Damon. Vampire speed. He has her wrist in a grip that would break a normal human's bones. We need to talk. Now. Into the parking lot. Bonnie is calling after them, but they're already too far away. Damon stops beside his car. You're coming with me. I'm getting you out of here before that happens. By kidnapping me in a public parking lot? Great plan. Shut up. Damon reaches for her other arm. Elena moves. The training kicks in. She's been sparring with vampires since she was 10. She knows how they move, how they think, how to exploit the fraction of a second when they're confident and not paying attention. She has vervain in her jacket pocket, preloaded syringe. She pulls it and stabs it into Damon's neck before he registers the movement. Damon gasps, staggers backward, the vervain hits his system hard. You're on vervain since I was 6. Daily doses, I'm saturated. Your compulsion doesn't work, your speed doesn't mean anything if I see you coming. And I've been trained to see you coming. Hits the pavement hard. Elena stands over him. You grabbed me without permission. You tried to take me against my will. Papa's going to hear about this, and he's going to make you regret it. Calls Klaus. Damon just tried to kidnap me from the grill. I defended myself. He's down. What do you want me to do with him? Klaus's voice is very calm, very controlled. Is he conscious? Barely. Good. Stay there. I'm coming. Klaus arrives in 3 minutes. Damon is still on the ground, conscious but barely mobile. The vervain dose Elena gave him was substantial. Klaus looks at his daughter. Are you hurt? No. I handled it. Klaus looks at Damon. His expression is the one that appears right before Klaus does something that people don't come back from. Damon, Salvatore, you put your hands on my daughter. I was trying to save her. You were trying to take what's mine. There's a difference. Klaus kneels beside Damon. I'm going to make this very clear, very simple, so even you can understand it. Elena is not yours to save. She's not yours to touch. She's mine. And if you go near her again, I will kill you in ways that make you beg for the mercy of a quick death. She deserves better than you. Klaus breaks Damon's arm. The sound is sharp and wet. Damon screams. She deserves what I give her, and I've given her everything. You've given her nothing except unwanted attention and a kidnapping attempt. Klaus stands. Stefan is the hero. You're the reckless idiot. Stay in your lane, he turns to Elena. Come on, we're going home. Elena follows him to the car. She doesn't look back at Damon. In the car, Klaus is quiet for a long moment, then, you handled that well. Thank you. The vervain dose, the positioning, the call, all of it was exactly right. You trained me well. I did. He pauses. But you're rattled. I can hear it in your heartbeat. Elena doesn't deny it. He was going to take me. If I'd been slower, if I hadn't had the vervain, and you're safe. Klaus reaches over, squeezes her hand briefly. You're safe. That's what matters. Silas arrives in Mystic Falls on December 1st. He doesn't announce himself, doesn't send warnings. He simply appears in the town square at noon, wearing Stefan's face. Mrs. Flowers sees him first. Stefan Salvatore standing in broad daylight without his ring. She calls Damon immediately. Something's wrong. Stefan is in the square. He's not burning. Lunch rush. Students from the high school, workers from local businesses, and standing in the center, wearing Stefan's face perfectly, is Silas. He's stronger now. 3 weeks of feeding. 3 weeks of regaining power. He looks solid, real. The calcification completely gone. Damon approaches carefully. I know it's you, Silas. Stefan's face smiles at him. Do you? Are you certain? Maybe I'm Stefan. Maybe you're hallucinating. Maybe I'm not here at all. Drop the illusion. This face makes people trust me. Silas walks toward a young couple at a cafe table, still wearing Stefan's face. Hello. Beautiful day, isn't it? The woman smiles. It really is. Silas reaches out, touches her neck. His fingers sink into her throat. She screams. He's not actually touching her. Damon can see it, psychic projection, making her feel pain that isn't real. But her mind believes it. Her body responds. She collapses, gasping. Damon moves vampire speed across the square. He tackles Silas. They go down hard against the pavement. Silas shifts faces. Stefan, then Damon, then Elena, then Catherine. Cycling through faces like channels. Which one scares you most, time traveler? He settles on Elena's face. Perfect replica, right down to the birthmark on her collarbone. I've been inside your mind. I've seen your memories. 83 years with her. Marriage, children, death. And now you're back here trying to recapture something you already lost. Damon pins him. Get out of my head. I'm already out. I just took souvenirs. Silas shoves him backward. Psychic force. Damon hits a car 20 feet away. You can't fight me, Damon. I'm inside everyone in this town. I'm in their heads, their dreams, their fears. I could make them kill each other, and they'd thank me for it. People in the square are screaming now, running. The woman Silas touched is unconscious. Her boyfriend is calling 911. Damon stands. What do you want? The cure, obviously. Why? You're already immortal. I want to die. I want to find Amara in death, but I can't die while I'm immortal. The cure makes me mortal, then I can die. Then I can be with her. And the veil? Still wearing Elena's face. The veil is insurance. If I can't find Amara in death, I'll bring her back from death. Simple. You'll bring back every dead supernatural creature in history. Collateral damage. That's insane. That's love. Silas stops, tilts his head. Elena's face looking at him with black eyes. You understand. You traveled through time for her. You're disrupting entire timelines. Who's really insane here? Or I'll make everyone in this town kill themselves, starting with her. Silas nods toward the high school. Elena Gilbert, 4th period history class. I can feel her mind from here. Bright, young, so easy to break. Touch her, and I'll find a way to kill you. You can't kill me. I'm immortal. The cure makes you mortal. Once you're mortal, you can die. Stakes, sunlight, all the vampire classics. Then give me the cure, and we both get what we want. No, I need it for leverage against Klaus. Silas laughs, Elena's laugh. Perfect replication. Klaus, the hybrid. I felt him arrive. Old power, paranoid, violent. He pauses. You're playing a dangerous game. Time traveler, balancing two monsters, hoping we destroy each other. Something like that. It might work, or it might get everyone you love killed. Silas shifts back to his own face. Young, dark-haired, human-looking except for the eyes. I'll give you 1 week. 7 days to reconsider. After that, I start making people hurt themselves. And I won't stop until you give me what I want. He vanishes. Not vampire speed, not running. He simply ceases to be visible psychic camouflage. Damon scans the square, but Silas is gone. The woman on the ground wakes up, confused. What happened? Her boyfriend is crying. You just collapsed. You were screaming. I'm fine. I'm okay. Damon compels them both. You had a panic attack. You're fine now. Go to the hospital. Get checked out. Forget anything strange. They leave. Damon stands alone in the square. His phone rings. Stefan. Mrs. Flowers called. Silas was here, wearing your face. He attacked someone psychically, then disappeared. But he gave us a week, 7 days to give him the cure or he starts killing people. What do? We call Klaus. Klaus arrives at the boarding house that evening with Elijah. Damon wasn't expecting Elijah, the original in the suit. Calm, collected. The specific quality of someone who has spent 1,000 years being the reasonable brother to Klaus's chaos. Mr. Salvatore, I hear you have a psychic problem. News travels fast. News of ancient immortals attacking people in town squares travels very fast. Elijah sits. Klaus remains standing. Tell me about Silas. Damon lays it out. The island, the tomb, the cure, waking Silas accidentally, the psychic attacks, the ultimatum. Klaus listens without interrupting. When Damon finishes, Klaus speaks. You're asking me to help you kill an unkillable immortal. Then kill him. With the cure. Yes. The same cure you're using as leverage against me. Yes. You see the problem. I see the opportunity. We force-feed Silas the cure. He becomes mortal. You kill him. Then we negotiate about Elena's blood separately. Elijah speaks. What makes you think Silas will take the cure? He could simply refuse. He wants to die. He wants to find his lost love in death. But he can't die while he's immortal. We offer him the cure. We offer him mortality and death. He'll take it. And if he doesn't? I've spent 1,000 years being the apex predator, and you're asking me to ally with a vampire who woke up an ancient psychic, disrupted the natural order, and is now bargaining with threats he can't control. Yes. Why would I do that? Because Silas is a threat to you, to your plans, to your hybrids. If he drops the veil, every enemy you've ever made comes back. Every vampire you've sired and killed. Every werewolf you've slaughtered. Every witch you've crossed. They all come back, and they all want revenge. Klaus turns. You make a compelling argument. Thank you. I accept. On 2 conditions. Name them. First, when Silas is dead, You give me unrestricted access to Elena's blood. I take what I need for my hybrids. You don't interfere. Agreed. But Elena stays alive and unharmed. Agreed. Second condition. If you're lying to me about Silas, if this is some elaborate trap, I will kill everyone in this town, starting with your brother, ending with you. Understood. Elijah stands. Then we have an accord. How do we proceed? Damon pulls out a notebook, opens it to a page covered in diagrams. Bonnie is learning expression magic, powerful enough to trap Silas temporarily. We lure him to a location, Bonnie binds him, we force-feed him the cure. He becomes mortal. Klaus kills him, simple. Nothing about this is simple, but it's the plan we have. Klaus looks at the diagrams. Where do we lure him? The old Lockwood cellar. Underground. Stone walls. Built to contain werewolves during full moons. Good structural integrity, easy to defend. Bonnie needs time to prepare the binding spell. I need time to convince Silas to meet me. How will you convince him? I'll offer him the cure. Tell him I'm ready to make a deal. He'll come because he wants it. And because he thinks he can overpower us. Can he? If we're not prepared, yes. If we are prepared, no. Damon closes the notebook. This works if everyone does their part. Bonnie binds him. Klaus kills him. Stefan and I keep Elena safe. Elijah provides backup. Elijah nods. A sound strategy. Klaus extends his hand. We have a deal, Mr. Salvatore. Damon shakes it. We have a deal. Bonnie spends 3 days learning the binding spell. Her grandmother teaches her. Ancient magic. Bennett bloodline specialization. The specific type of spell designed to hold something powerful against its will. Damon watches from the doorway of the Bennett house. Bonnie is in the living room. Candles surrounding her. Grimoire open. She chants in Latin. The air shimmers. Sheila sits beside her. Guiding. Feel the magic, don't force it. Let it flow through you. Bonnie's hands glow. Green light, the specific color of expression magic. The light flickers, destabilizes. Bonnie gasps. I can't hold it. Yes, you can. You're a Bennett witch. This is your birthright. Focus. Sweat on her forehead. She holds the spell for 30 seconds. 45. 1 minute. Then releases it. The light dissipates. Bonnie collapses backward, breathing hard. I did it. You did, now you need to do it faster. Silas won't wait patiently while you cast. How much faster? Practice. Damon steps into the room. How's it going? You're asking me to perform magic I've been practicing for 3 days, against an immortal who's been using psychic powers for 2,000 years. Yes, that's insane. Welcome to my world. I could die doing this. You won't. I'll make sure of it. How? Because in another timeline you survived things much worse than this. You died and came back, multiple times. You are the strongest person I know, Bonnie Bennett, and I'm not going to let this be the thing that breaks you. You really believe that? Completely, even though I'm 16 and barely know what you're doing. Especially because you're 16 and barely know what you're doing. Inexperience means you don't know what's impossible yet. That's an advantage. Bonnie looks at her grandmother. Sheila nods. All right, I'll do it, but if I die, I'm haunting you. Damon calls Silas on December 4th. Not physically, psychically. He opens his mind deliberately, creates a specific thought pattern that he knows Silas can detect. I'm ready to deal. Silas responds immediately, thoughts directly into Damon's consciousness. Finally, where? The Lockwood cellar. Tomorrow night, midnight. Why should I trust you? Because I'm tired of fighting. Because Klaus is here and he's a bigger threat than you are. Because I want this over with. A pause. Then, I'll be there. The connection cuts. Stefan is beside him. Did it work? He's coming. Do you think he suspects? Absolutely. But he's arrogant. He thinks he can handle whatever trap we set. Can he? We're about to find out. The Lockwood cellar is cold and dark and smells like old stone and older violence. Damon and Stefan arrive first. They set up the space, candles for Bonnie's spell, vervain grenades as backup, stakes, chains soaked in vervain, every weapon they can think of. Klaus arrives with Elijah at 11:30. Is everything prepared? Bonnie will arrive at 11:45. She'll need time to set up the binding circle. And if Silas arrives early, then we stall. How reassuring. Elijah surveys the cellar. This location has good bones. Defensible. I approve. Bonnie arrives at 11:42. Caroline is with her. Damon specifically asked Caroline to stay away, but she refused. Bonnie needs backup. I'm her backup. Deal with it. Bonnie sets up quickly. The binding circle is complex. Symbols drawn in chalk. Candles at specific points. She moves with the confidence of someone who has practiced this 100 times in 3 days. How long will the binding hold? 30 seconds. Maybe a minute if I'm lucky. That's all we need. Klaus, when Bonnie binds him, you move. Inject the cure directly. Don't hesitate. Klaus holds up a syringe. The cure inside. Dark liquid. I won't. Midnight arrives. Silas doesn't. 12:05. Nothing. 12:10. Stefan speaks quietly. Maybe he's not coming. He's coming. He's just making us wait. 12:15. Silas appears in the center of the cellar. Not walking in. Not arriving. Simply existing where he wasn't existing before. He's wearing Damon's face. Hello, everyone. Quite the gathering. Damon steps forward. You came. Of course I came. You have something I want. Silas shifts faces. Klaus now. Perfect replica. Hello, Niklaus. Lovely to finally meet you. Klaus's expression is pure rage. Drop my face. Why? It's such a good face. Powerful, feared, completely traumatized by daddy issues. He's across the cellar in a fraction of a second. His hand goes for Silas's throat. Silas shifts faces again. Now he's wearing Klaus's father's face. Mikael. Klaus freezes. Hello, boy. Miss me? The voice is perfect. Mikael's voice. Klaus's entire body goes rigid. 1,000 years of trauma surfacing instantly. Elijah moves. Niklaus, it's not real. His eyes are vacant. Silas has him trapped in a psychic loop, probably showing him every terrible thing Mikael ever did to him. Damon yells, Bonnie, now! Her hands glow green. The symbols on the floor light up. Energy spirals towards Silas. Silas turns, still wearing Mikael's face. Clever, expression magic. But you're too slow, little witch. He reaches for Bonnie psychically. Caroline throws herself between them. Don't touch her. She's screaming without making sound. Bonnie's spell activates. The binding circle flares. Energy wraps around Silas. He's caught. Immobilized, his face has stopped shifting. He settles back to his own appearance. Impressive, but this won't hold me long. Damon moves. He has the syringe, the cure. Klaus was supposed to do this, but Klaus is incapacitated. Damon crosses to Silas. Silas looks at him. You're really going to cure me? Make me mortal? Yes. Why? We both win. And then Klaus kills me. That's the plan. Silas smiles. Then do it. Damon hesitates. This is too easy. Silas wants this, which means the binding breaks. Bonnie screams. The spell shatters. She collapses. Stefan catches her. Silas stands free. Your witch is strong, but I'm stronger. 2,000 years stronger. He grabs the syringe from Damon's hand, looks at it. The cure, fascinating, but I don't think I'll take it just yet. Why not? Because watching you all scramble is too entertaining. Silas pockets the syringe. I'll keep this. Insurance, and I'll give you a new deal. Bring me the doppelganger, Elena Gilbert, alive, unharmed, and I'll take the cure and die peacefully. Refuse, and I'll drop the veil right now. Why do you want Elena? Because her blood is powerful. Petrova blood. I can use it to anchor the spell that drops the veil. Better anchor than random massacres. He pauses. You have 24 hours. Bring me Elena, or I start killing everyone you love. He vanishes. Klaus collapses. Elijah catches him. The psychic hold released. Klaus is shaking. What? What happened? Silas got in your head. Showed you Mikael. The specific expression of someone who just relived their worst trauma. We need to cure first. He took it. What? Damon explains. The failed binding. The new ultimatum, Elena as the price. Klaus stands. Then we give him Elena. No. It's her or the world, Damon. I said no. This isn't negotiable. It is, because there's another way. Damon turns to Elijah. You're an original. You've lived 1,000 years. You know magic. Is there a way to kill an immortal without the cure? Elijah thinks. Quetzaya. Who? She also made the cure. If anyone knows how to kill him, it's her. Where is she? Dead. For 2,000 years. Can we bring her back? The veil is still intact. The dead stay dead. Unless... Elijah pauses. Unless we use expression magic to resurrect her temporarily. Bonnie is on her feet, pale but functional. That's dark magic, really dark. Can you do it? I don't know. Maybe, with Graham's helping. Then we try. We bring back Ketsia. We ask her how to kill Silas. We do it before he drops the veil. Damon looks around the cellar. Everyone agreed. Stefan nods. Bonnie nods. Caroline nods. Klaus speaks. And if this fails, if Ketsia can't help, then we give him Elena and I spend the rest of eternity hating myself. They resurrect Ketsia in the Bennett house basement. It takes Bonnie and Sheila working together. 3 hours of chanting, expression magic pouring through both of them. The air in the basement gets heavy, thick, the specific quality of reality bending. A figure appears, translucent, ghostly, but present. Ketsia, she looks young, 25 maybe. Ancient eyes, who dares summon me? Bonnie speaks, we need your help. Silas is awake. He wants to drop the veil. We need to know how to kill him. Ketsia laughs, bitter. You woke him, you fools. I spent 2,000 years making sure he stayed entombed. We know we made a mistake. Now we're trying to fix it. You can't fix it. Silas is unkillable. I made him that way. You also made the cure? The cure makes him mortal. Have you given it to him? He took it. He won't use it voluntarily. Ketsia is quiet for a moment. There is one way. If you can't make him take the cure willingly, you force it. But you need a powerful anchor, something he cares about more than his immortality. Like what? Like Amara, his lost love? She's immortal too. I made her immortal to torture Silas. They can't be together in life or death. Eternal separation. Ketsia smiles, cold. If you find Amara, if you threaten to kill her, Silas will do anything to save her, including taking the cure. Where is Amara? I don't know. I died 2,000 years ago. She could be anywhere. Damon speaks. I know where she is. In the original timeline, Amara was the anchor to the other side. She was trapped, suffering, kept alive magically. If she's in the same place in this timeline, Damon thinks. She's with the travelers. They're using her as the anchor. Ketsia's eyes narrow. The travelers. Of course. They would know the value of an immortal anchor. Where are the travelers? Everywhere. Nowhere. They're a scattered people. Cursed to wander. But their leader, Marcos, he would know where Amara is. How do we find Marcos? Passenger spell. A traveler can jump from body to body. Find one traveler. Make them summon Marcos. He'll come. Bonnie speaks. I can do a locator spell. Find travelers in the area. Do it. Fast. We have... Damon checks his watch. 18 hours before Silas's deadline. Ketsia begins to fade. Good luck. You'll need it. The locator spell identifies 3 travelers in Mystic Falls. One is possessing a history teacher, one is in a gas station attendant, one is in a college student passing through town. Damon and Stefan grab the history teacher. They take him to the boarding house. Tie him up. Vervain doesn't work on travelers. They're human, but regular restraints do. Tell us where Marcos is. Why would I do that? Because if you don't, I'll make you wish you'd never jumped into that body. You can't kill me. I'll just jump to another body. True, but I can make this body suffer before you jump. Damon pulls out a knife. Your choice. Leading a group. Preparing for the spell. What spell? The spell to break the curse. The traveler curse. We need doppelganger blood. Lots of it. We were going to take Elena. You're not touching Elena. Then how do we break the curse? Not my problem. Where in North Carolina? Asheville. Old warehouse on the east side. Sleep. When you wake up, forget this conversation. Stefan speaks, we're going to Asheville. We're going to Asheville. What about Klaus? Klaus comes with us. We need hybrid backup if this goes wrong. They reach Asheville in 4 hours. Damon drives. Stefan navigates. Klaus is in the back with Elijah. The specific tension of people who don't trust each other, but need each other. The warehouse is exactly where the traveler said. Old, abandoned, lights visible through broken windows. They approach carefully. Inside, 50 travelers, maybe more, all performing a ritual, chanting in unison at the center of the room. A woman, Amara, she's chained. unconscious. Blood dripping from her wrists into a bowl. Doppelganger blood. She looks exactly like Elena. Exact replica. Damon stops. That's her. The first doppelganger. Marco stands at the ritual's center. He sees them. Intruders. Kill them. The travelers move as one. Klaus doesn't hesitate. Hybrid speed. He tears through them. Elijah beside him. Precise. Efficient. Damon and Stefan join. It's a massacre. Travelers are human when not possessing bodies. They die like humans. Klaus and Elijah cut through them without mercy. Damon feels sick watching it, but doesn't stop. Marcos tries to run. Stefan catches him, slams him against the wall. Where's the cure? Silas took it. Where would he keep it? I don't know. Wrong answer. Stefan's fangs extend. He keeps it with him. Always. It's too valuable to hide. Damon crosses to Amara. She's waking up, her eyes open. Confused. Where am I? You're safe. We're getting you out. Silas. Where's Silas? Hunting for you. But we found you first. Klaus approaches. What do we do with her? We use her as bait. We call Silas. We tell him we have Amara. He'll come for her. We ambush him. We force-feed him the cure. Then we kill him. Elijah speaks, and if he sees through the ambush, then we threaten to kill Amara. He'll do anything to save her, including die. They call Silas from the warehouse. Damon opens his mind. Silas, we have her. We have Amara. The response is immediate, violent, psychic rage slamming into Damon's consciousness. Where? Asheville, old warehouse, east side. Come alone. If you hurt her, we won't. If you cooperate, I'll be there in 1 hour. The connection cuts. Damon stumbles. Stefan catches him. You okay? He's furious, which means we have leverage. They prepare. Klaus positions himself in the rafters. Elijah at the back exit. Stefan and Damon in the center with Amara. Amara is awake now, aware. You're using me as bait. Yes, Silas will kill you for this. Silas will negotiate to save you. That's the point. You don't know him. He's loved me for 2,000 years. That kind of love makes people irrational. I'm counting on it. Silas arrives in 45 minutes. He appears at the warehouse entrance, alone. His face is calm, but his eyes are black. Pure rage. Where is she? Damon gestures. Amara stands, chains on her wrists. Silas, I'm fine. I'm fine. Silas turns to Damon. You've made your point. Let her go. No, not until you take the cure and die. I can't die while she's immortal. We're bound together. If I die, she suffers eternally. I won't do that to her. Then take the cure together. Silas laughs. You have 1 dose, 1 cure. Amara stays immortal, or we kill her and you stay immortal and alone. You're bluffing. Klaus drops from the rafters, lands beside Amara, his hand on her throat. We're not bluffing. Silas's face goes cold. Klaus, the hybrid, I've heard stories. I'm sure you have, and every story is true. Now, the cure, take it, or I rip her heart out. If you hurt her, I'll drop the veil right now. Every enemy you've ever made comes back, starting with your father. She told us everything, about the anchor, about Amara, about the other side. If you drop the veil, she'll create a new one, a better one, and you'll never find Amara in the chaos. Silas stares at him. You're lying. Ask her yourself if you don't believe me. Quetzia would never help you. Quetzia wants you dead more than we do. She's been waiting 2,000 years for revenge. We're just the delivery system. Silas is quiet, calculating. If I take the cure, if I die, Amara goes free. Yes, you swear it. I swear it. Silas looks at Amara. I'm sorry. I tried to free us both. I failed. You didn't fail. You found me. After 2,000 years, you found me. Amara's voice is soft. Take the cure, die, find peace. I'll be okay. You'll be alone. I'm used to it. Silas closes his eyes. I love you. I love you too. He extends his hand. Give me the cure. Hands it to Silas. Silas looks at it. This makes me mortal? Yes. And then I can die? Yes. Silas injects himself. The effect is immediate. His skin changes. The specific glow of immortality fades. He becomes ordinary, human. Mortal, he gasps. I can feel it. My heart. It's beating normally. I'm... Klaus moves. Hybrid speed. His hand through Silas's chest, grabs his heart, rips it out. Silas's eyes go wide. He looks at Amara. I'll find you in death. He collapses. Dead. The 2,000-year-old immortal dies in a warehouse in Asheville, North Carolina, killed by a hybrid who was tired of negotiations. The aftermath is quiet. Klaus drops the heart, wipes his hand on his jacket. That was satisfying. Elijah approaches. Is he truly dead? Stefan checks for a pulse. No heartbeat, no breathing. He's gone. You're free. We'll take these chains off. You can go wherever you want. Amara looks at Silas's body. Where will I go? I've been chained for 2,000 years. I don't know how to be free. You'll figure it out. Humans are good at adapting. I'm not human. I'm immortal. You're human where it counts. You can choose. You can change. You can build a life. Damon removes the chains. That's more than Silas could do. Amara rubs her wrists. Thank you. You're welcome. Klaus speaks. Our business is concluded. Silas is dead. Now we discuss Elena. The negotiation happens at the boarding house. Klaus, Elijah, Damon, Stefan. Elena sits at the head of the table. Calm. Damon prepped her for this. Klaus speaks first. I need your blood for my hybrids. The ritual requires doppelganger blood. Not much. A few pints. And if I refuse, then I take it by force. And if you take it by force, Damon kills you. Klaus smiles. Damon can try. Damon doesn't rise to the bait. Elena, it's your choice. I'll give you my blood on 3 conditions. First, you don't kill me. Second, you leave Mystic Falls after you're done. Third, you never come back. I can agree to the first 2. The third is negotiable. This town has the only living doppelganger. I may need more blood in the future. Then we schedule it, like a blood donation. You call. We arrange a time. I give blood. You leave. No violence. Klaus considers. Acceptable, Elijah. Klaus takes Elena's blood the next day. Medical setup, clean, professional, a doctor compelled to help. Elena sits in a chair. Klaus supervises. 5 pints total, enough for a dozen hybrids. Elena is pale when it's done. Damon is beside her immediately. How do you feel? Dizzy, but okay. You were brave. I was terrified. Same thing sometimes. Klaus caps the final vial. Thank you, Miss Gilbert. You've been remarkably cooperative. I just want this over with. As do I. Klaus gestures to Elijah. We'll leave tonight. You have my word. I won't return unless invited. Damon watches them go. The specific relief of a threat leaving voluntarily. Stefan joins him on the porch. We did it. Silas is dead. Klaus is gone. Everyone's alive. Everyone's alive, Damon repeats. Vicky, Lexi, Grams. Jenna won't die because Klaus won't sacrifice her. Tyler won't trigger his curse. Mason Lockwood doesn't die because I won't kill him this time. You saved them. I disrupted a timeline and got lucky. You call this lucky? I call this better than the original. Damon pauses. But the butterfly effects. I have no idea what comes next. I changed too much. The future I remember doesn't exist anymore. Then we face whatever comes together. For the first time in 165 years. Actually brothers. 3 weeks later, Damon uses the cure. He doesn't tell anyone he's planning to. Just walks into the woods one morning with the vial. The cure. 1 dose, enough for 1 person. He thinks about Silas. About mortality. About 83 years of being human. He injects himself. The change is immediate and brutal. His vampire nature stripped away. The cold leaving his body. Replaced by warmth. His heartbeat returning. Slow, mortal human. He collapses. Stefan finds him an hour later. Unconscious, human. Stefan carries him back to the boarding house. Damon wakes up in his bed. Stefan is beside him. You took the cure. I took the cure. Without telling me. I didn't want you to try to stop me. I wouldn't have stopped you. Yes, you would have. Stefan is quiet. Maybe. Are you okay? I'm human. I'm mortal. I'm warm. Damon looks at his hands. Human hands. Aging hands. I'm perfect. What about Elena? What about her? She's 17. You're 165, or Stefan stops. How does this work? I court her properly. I wait until she's ready. I don't rush. I don't manipulate. I do it right this time. And if she doesn't choose you, then she doesn't choose me. And I live with that. Damon sits up. I'm not the man from the original timeline. That Damon manipulated her into loving him. This Damon is going to earn it. Or not. Either way, I'm going to be worthy of the choice. Elena comes to see him that evening. He's on the porch, human now for 12 hours, already feeling the differences. Hunger for food, not blood. Fatigue. The specific biological limitations. Stefan told me. Of course he did. You took the cure. I did. Why? Because I lived 83 years as a human, and it was the best part of my existence. Because I want to grow old. Because I want to be warm. He pauses. Because I want to do this life right. Elena sits beside him. What does right look like? Honest, patient, kind, no compulsion, no manipulation, no sire bond, just two people figuring out if they work together. And if we don't work, and I'll be grateful for the friendship anyway. She's quiet for a long moment. In your other timeline, we got married after I became human, after I spent decades learning how to be a decent person, after I earned you. He looks at her. But that was a different Damon, a different Elena. I'm not assuming we'll get there this time. I'm trying. I appreciate that. Thank you. She stands. I should go, but Damon, yes, I'm glad you're here. Human or vampire. I'm glad you stayed. She leaves. Damon sits alone on the porch, human, mortal. Warm, he watches the sun set. The specific ordinary miracle of a sunset he's seen thousands of times. And that hits different when you know you have a limited number left. Stefan joins him. What are you thinking about? Everything. Nothing. The specific fact that I saved everyone I could save. I changed the timeline. I prevented deaths and traumas and horrors. And I have no idea if I made things better or worse. You made them different. That's enough. Is it? It is for now. Watching the sun disappear below the horizon, Damon thinks about the original timeline, about peace, about Stefan waiting for him on the other side, about 83 years with Elena. Then he thinks about this timeline, about everyone alive, about second chances, about the specific gift of not knowing what comes next. He doesn't know why he got sent back. He doesn't know if this is punishment or opportunity. But he knows this. He's going to make every day count, starting tomorrow. Epilogue, 6 months later. Mystic Falls is quiet. Klaus hasn't returned. Silas is dead. The tomb vampires are scattered. Caroline is thriving at college. Bonnie is practicing magic with her grandmother. Tyler never triggered his curse. Vicky Donovan is sober. Lexi visits Stefan monthly. Alaric found Isabel and got closure. And Damon Salvatore is human. He teaches literature at the local college, coaches Little League on weekends, drinks coffee instead of bourbon, ages at the normal human rate. Elena is a freshman at Whitmore. They talk every week. Coffee dates, movie nights, building something slow and genuine. Stefan watches his brother live the life he always wanted. One evening, Stefan finds Damon on the porch. Do you regret it? Taking the cure? Becoming human? This is what I wanted, what I fought for. Even though you might not get the future you remember, that future was built on manipulation and pain and 1,000 terrible choices. This future, whatever it is, it's built on honesty, on second chances, on doing better. I'm allowed to be wise occasionally. Stefan sits. Thank you. For what? For coming back. For saving everyone. For being my brother. Stefan pauses. For giving us all a second chance. You're welcome. They sit in comfortable silence. The sun sets. Damon Salvatore, human, mortal, warm, watches it disappear and thinks, this is enough. This is more than enough. This is everything. Let us know what you'd like to see next. The end.